Hi, my name's Sarah. I've lost over £250. I lost just over £100 with Slimming World, and then I switched over to WW, or formerly Weight Watchers, and I lost just over £150 with them as well. I have tried literally every diet you can imagine. They work initially. Every diet works if you stick to it. They work initially, but then I'll mess it up. I will eat something that I shouldn't. I'll have a binge, and then it all goes to pot. I think what's different this time is I've come at it from a different angle. Before, every time I've started a diet, and I will call it a diet because I've always started diets, I'm expecting that diet to end. That's the difference. I've always started a diet with, if I can lose this much weight, then I can eat what I want again. It doesn't work like that. I've been at goal now for a year and a half, and it seriously doesn't work like that. I've still got to count points or follow a plan. Regardless of what's going on, I've got to do it, because if I don't, I will put all my weight back on again. It's as simple as that. I can't eat the way I used to eat. I can't physically fit the food in that I used to eat, but I can give it a try. I can definitely still fit crisps and chocolate in. Doesn't matter how full I am, I can still fit those in. So this time I came at it from a different angle. I decided it was going to be habit changing and routine forming. That was the way that I was going to do it, and that was the only thing that was going to work. I personally cut out all rubbish for 8 months. When I was doing Slimming World, I made the conscious decision that I was going to cut out all rubbish, and I did. That's the difference this time. I think I've embedded some very good habits from doing that, but inevitably there are times when you're going to fall off the wagon. You're going to face plant a chocolate bar, you're going to get hit in the face with a bag of crisps, and it's going to happen. So it's how you deal with that it counts. I think our initial reaction when we wake up the morning after having a bit of a splurge is to pull it back. Now, if I've done that, and as soon as in my head, I start restricting myself and restricting the foods that I'm eating, at that point, I'm going to go mad again. I'm going to go and eat again. So I've learned that the best thing for me to do is acknowledge what I've eaten. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again and again. Just acknowledge what you've eaten. If you can remember what you've eaten. I had a binge the other day, and I have absolutely no idea what I stuffed in my face. I couldn't even tell you. But just acknowledge that it happened, and that you've had something to eat, and that you've had a bad day. But just get back on it again. You cannot change what you've eaten. You can't. There's no point in feeling bad about it, because it's not going to change that. It's just going to make you feel bad. So why would you make yourself feel bad, as far as I'm concerned? When it comes to food, if what's done is done, there's no way that I can change what I ate yesterday, what I ate the day before. That's done. It's about remembering those feelings and trying to use them the next time you feel like you want to eat and you don't want to, and it's going to be a binge. It's about remembering those feelings and remembering the way that you physically feel the next day. I don't feel very well sometimes after I've had a binge. I feel bloated, I feel dehydrated, I feel very lethargic. So it's just remembering those things, and even that can sort of help you next time you feel one coming on. Just remember those feelings. It's not going to help you all the time, and it's not going to stop you doing it in the long term, because we're all going to mess up at some point. But it's just about trying to curb them as much as possible, and then dealing with them when they've come. And like I said, my way of dealing with it when I've binged, when I've gone and had a burger and I shouldn't have, is just acknowledge it. Yeah, it happened. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Or remembering if you don't, because I think the main important thing is, if you didn't enjoy it and you didn't enjoy what you eat, why would you go and eat it again? So it's just trying to remember that, and the next time it happens, try and bring those thoughts to the fore. So I don't restrict myself, because like I said, if I start restricting, that's it. I go to pot, and then that day I'll get to sort of mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and in my head I'm just thinking, I can't have that, I can't have this, I can't have that, I need to lose this, and I need to lose that, and then it just all goes to pot again. I'll end up eating that day, and then I'll have to start again tomorrow, and inevitably that's the way that it's always happened previously, and hence why I've never got to goal before. but I've got to go this time, and that's the reason why. It's about being honest with yourself first and foremost. Try and be as honest with yourself as possible, because it's easy for you to not be honest and just feel bad about it. And don't feel bad. Whatever you do, don't feel bad about it. What you've done is done, and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Having a day off or 2 days off or a week off, as long as you get back on it, that's the important thing, and that's all that matters. So, like I said, acknowledge, forgive yourself, and move on. That's what I've done this week. I had a huge binge on Tuesday, to the point where I was in absolute agony. Wednesday, the first time I've done it, but I made the conscious decision that I wasn't going to point that day, and I was going to eat the foods that I wanted to eat, because the day before I'd literally just binged. I can't tell you half of the stuff I ate, but it wasn't the things that I'd been craving. So I had the day off Wednesday, and I had the things that I'd been craving for a little while. So I ate those, and since Wednesday I've been absolutely fine. I have no cravings because I satisfied them on Wednesday. I'm fine. So it's just about, for me, that's the first time I've done it, and if I do have a really bad binge like that again, I may consider doing that again, because I think it's helped me a lot in the long term when it comes to trying to get back on it, and more importantly, not thinking about those foods that I really want to eat. So don't feel bad. Never ever feel bad about what you've done, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You've got back on it, and that's all that counts. Like I said, I don't restrict myself. I will give myself all of my dailies still. I'm doing the green plan at the moment, and it was the same when I was doing the blue plan, when I was doing no count, whatever I was doing, whatever Weight Watchers WW plan I was doing, this is what I've always done. I will work out how many points I've got, how many weekly points I can have a day. So I get 42, so that's obviously 6 points a day. I will then take off any points. So my weighing day was technically yesterday, although I didn't get weighed because I'd had a big binge and I decided that I didn't want to get weighed. So I would, if it had happened yesterday, I would just take 6 points off yesterday's and just carry on the rest of the week. I would give myself 6 points a day for the rest of the week, just so that I'm not restricting myself. If I use them, that's great. If I don't, I just take them off. I think if I start, like I said, if I start restricting my diet, that's when I start to spiral out of control, and I can't let that happen because I don't want it to. So that's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it if I mess up. So everybody does it, and it's about just moving on. Forgive yourself and move on. That's the best advice that I can possibly give you. We all do it, and that's part of life. We're always going to come up against foods everywhere, and especially this time of year, it is literally everywhere. So it's just about forgiving yourself, moving on. Today's a new day, and just get on with it, crack on. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.